Hello, you guys, and welcome back to the Wellness Edit podcast. I'm your host, Giovanna, and today I want to take you backstage on all my wellness habits, the habits that have really transformed my life and led me to live a better lifestyle. These have helped me with how I feel, think, and show up in my daily life. If you ever felt stuck, tired, or just off, trust me, I know the feeling. I've been there too. But these habits have changed everything, and I can't wait to share them with you. But first of all, before we get into the episode, I want to talk about my wellness tip of the week. Just something that I think is going to improve your lifestyle as well, that I have included in mine and seen the differences. So this week's wellness tip is about stacking habits for success. I was feeling really ill and not really like myself for the past few months, so I started to implement taking my vitamins really regularly into my routine because it was not something that I've been doing before, and I kept forgetting it. It wasn't easy to get into a routine that I felt happy about it. So I started habit stacking like I do with other things as well, but now every time I drink my water in the morning, I'll make sure I'm getting my vitamins in as well before I do anything else. And now it just kind of became second nature. Stacking habits is the easiest way to make them stick. Another thing that I love to do when habit stacking is, for example, journaling and drinking my greens at the same time, or listening to a podcast while I do my cardio, while I'm on the treadmill, or going out for a walk. But let's get into it because I cannot wait to share my wellness habits that I have included into my routine that have been making such a difference in my life. And of course, everything starts with a really good morning routine because it will set the tone for the rest of your day. And I already have my morning staples, the things that I cannot live without by this point. Before having a clear idea of what I wanted my life to look like, I did not have a routine. My morning routine was really just dependent on my mood and what I felt like doing that morning. Sometimes I would be scrolling on my phone. Sometimes I would just stay in bed for a little longer because I was not ready to get up and get started with the day. And that's a bit of procrastination, but we've talked about that on the last episode. So if you're struggling with procrastination, then definitely check that out. But now one of the first things I do is drink my water, take my vitamins. I will journal, drink my greens while I'm doing it as well. They are small shifts, but I just feel so much better when I actually accomplish them first thing in the morning. The vitamins I've been taking recently is vitamin C, D, and then a multivitamin. I like to think of vitamins as giving your body what it needs to reset and feel its best before it's actually asking you for it. And then when it comes to the green powder, I can say that I was a little skeptical at first to try green powders and see if it was actually bringing any benefit to my life. But I started to see some benefits to do with my digestion. My skin started to look clearer and I have more energy. So that's definitely something that I want to keep in my routine as well. Currently, the one I like the most is the green powder from Free Soul and also the multivitamins. Now, one of my favorite topics is mindset and personal growth and a wellness mindset. And this is something that I've really incorporated into my life. We need to be doing the work to be growing self-love, self-awareness, and developing ourselves. And everything starts with discipline. If you want to grow self-love, then you need to be really disciplined with yourself. I used to bottle up emotions and not really know how to deal with them. For a really long time, that was something I struggled with because I had a lot happening in my personal life and I did not know truly how to make sense of it and how not to let it impact other areas of my life or how I treated myself or other people. But journaling became a way of checking in with myself. And of course, all of that only made sense to me once I truly understood what self-love meant. Setting intentions is like having a conversation with your future self and making sure that she's on track to make sure that your goals are actually becoming a reality in the future and that you're working towards the things that you want and that you prioritize. So keep writing those gratitude lists, set intentions, and check in with yourself because it truly does make a difference. Another great habit that I've included into my life last year is to swap screen time for reading. You can also swap your anxiety for reading, and that works really well too. I had the feeling that sometimes I was just scrolling endlessly on TikTok or Instagram at night and feeling really drained, and I would wake up really drained as well, not having energy to do what actually mattered to me. And now that I'm a book girly and I really got into reading, I will just swap that for reading 2 chapters at night or 2 chapters during the day whenever I feel like I'm not being productive and I'm just on my phone. I am currently reading Akatar. I don't know if you know of that series. It's basically A Court of Thorns and Roses. I am on book 3 at the moment. I'm getting near the end and I love this series so much. I'm obsessed with it. I'm making all my friends start reading it too. And have you read it before? Because if you did, then you have to let me know what you thought. And if you have not, this is something I cannot recommend enough. You will not be disappointed. Now, if all of these changes seem like a really big change to you and that you're not ready for it or you don't have the discipline for it, we need to talk about self-love and awareness, because I used to think that self-love was more about the external and taking care of how I looked when I was younger, and I didn't quite understand the concept of it. But real self-love is showing up for yourself in whatever it is that you prioritize and on the things that might be harder for you to deal with as well. That's why discipline becomes a key point. Even on hard days, awareness helped me recognize my patterns. Compassion helped me see what I needed to change without being so hard on myself. And discipline is what keeps me consistent. If you follow me on socials, you know I love to prioritize my self-care, movement, and finding workouts that I love. If you don't follow me yet, you can find me at Giovanna Lorenko on IG or TikTok. And I'm also sharing all of my routines on YouTube. Currently, I am exercising daily up to around 6 times a week, just because I love it so much. Of course, if you don't have the time or if you have other priorities at the moment, you don't need to do it 6 times, but as long as you're incorporating movement into your life, into your routine, you will feel better. At first, I was just working out because I wanted to feel better with how I looked, and that didn't make me motivated all the time, because our bodies are always changing, and it doesn't mean that because you feel good about your body today that tomorrow you're still gonna feel the same. Things are always changing, and especially in different times of the month, our bodies are changing as well. Everything changed when I focused on how I felt as opposed to how I looked. Now I genuinely crave movement because I love it and I love the way it makes me feel. It gives me energy and it lifts my mood and it fuels me to be a better person. Normally, I'll go to the gym around 3 times a week to focus on strength training and also cardio for 1 time or 2 times a week. And recently, one of the things I've been loving the most, and I'm so excited about it every single day, is the days I have Pilates. I started Reformer Pilates a few weeks ago. I actually started with an unlimited membership and I could go as many times as I wanted, and that felt amazing, but my body was actually getting really tired. If you haven't done Reformer Pilates yet, it is actually really good and intense. You might not feel it as you're doing it as much. For me, I didn't feel the workout as I was doing it in that moment precisely, but I felt it as soon as I finished the class, for example. Literally after my first class, I was hooked. My core strength and posture improved so much, and I could not be happier about it. Something I really want to emphasize is that if you are not enjoying going to the gym right now, it's because you just haven't found your workout or the thing that you really love doing. So take the time to try different classes, try different sports, and see something that you actually like doing and that you could focus on spending your time doing it for a long time as well, because that's when you're gonna start being consistent and seeing those results. Wellness isn't about doing everything perfectly, it's about finding what works for you and sticking with it. These habits changed my life and I hope they inspire you too. If you loved this episode, take a screenshot of you listening to it, post it on your Instagram story, tag me on it, and tell me, what is one habit that changed your life? I will love to hear from you.